Die Regierung in Nederland ist geplatzt. Das ist wunderbar. Ich erzähle euch gleich, warum. Geert Wilders ist ein Politiker mit Rückengrad. Deswegen ist es geplatzt. Deswegen ist es auch gut. That is correct, people. It is happened in Holland. What will hopefully happen here, but probably it will happen here for different reasons. Now, in Holland, Geert Wilders was supposed to be the prime minister. Their system is pretty much exactly the same as the one in Germany here. Basically what the people do, the people get to vote on political parties. Those parties get votes. The ones with the most votes have to find coalitions with others and see if they can work together. Now, in theory, it's a good system. It doesn't really work out so great. Because you can't vote on individual politicians. So basically, they voted for Geert Wilders' party after years of treating them like they treated the AFD. The people were not ever going to vote for these people. The PVV is what they're called, the Party for Freedom. They were stigmatized just like the AFD has been stigmatized and still is being stigmatized. Geert Wilders, there's been attempts on his life. He's been a very critical of Islam, which is dangerous by itself. And yet he remained in politics and finally won the people over. And the reason was immigration, just like it is here, right? Just like it is here. So basically, the PVV won the elections. And since Geert Wilders is like the hate figure, he's like the Björn Höcke from the AfD. Nobody would work with them unless Geert Wilders was not going to be the prime minister. And so Geert Wilders did what a actual noble, backboned politician with integrity would do. And he said, all right, we'll put somebody else in as prime minister. I won't be the prime minister, but I do want to have the government work together for the benefit of the Dutch people. And so I will bow out of that position. Right? And so Dick Schoof became the prime minister. But it should have been Geert Wilders, but Geert Wilders backed out because there was so much polarization around him that he didn't demand to keep the, you know what I'm saying? He could have just stood on his principle and said, look, no, we won the election, right? I'm going to be the prime minister, right? And if anybody else wants a government position, then you're going to have to roll with it. You know what I mean? So it would have taken forever to form a coalition. So Geert Wilders did the noble thing a politician with integrity would do. He's in it really for the people, right? You can tell when a politician is in it for the people when they self-sacrifice, right? Donald Trump doesn't take the salary for the president. He gets paid $1 for a year, right? Donald Trump gets shot in the fucking head, jumps up and yells, fight, 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 and continues to make a run for president, even though it's dangerous for him, it's dangerous for his family. Those are the politicians that are in it for the people, right? They're in it for the people. Geert Wilders is one of those. Alice Weidel is one of those. You know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. Viktor Orban is one of those. And there's all of these figures that are like that, right? They are like that. And so Geert Wilders didn't demand to become prime minister, which was great because they got a government running. Unfortunately, Geert Wilders, one of his main topics, like Friedrich Merz said it was his main topic, is the immigration problem. He wanted to impose one of the harshest immigration policies in Europe. And that included shutting down the border completely. It included not accepting any more asylum seekers. It's kind of like Friedrich Merz's 5-point plan. Right? And he thought that because his party won the elections and that he would make the coalition and they would come to some sort of agreement. Well, they're not, because the other parties are like the CDU, they're like the SPD. The other parties are establishment, and the establishment are globalist, and they don't want to do anything about the immigration. They want to keep it rolling, right? To keep the fat cats and the NGOs fed, right? And to keep their idealism rolling. That's what they want. If they didn't want that, they would put an end to it. They're not doing that. Geert Wilders wanted to put an end to it. Well, it turns out that he couldn't get the votes to do anything on this immigration policy, so he said, you know what? I'm going to fucking bust the fucking government. We're pulling out. Then we'll have new elections. Neuwahlen. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, for a politician, that's an extremely risky move because he's a little bit down in the polls because his followers and the PVV's followers, like the AFD followers, they were pissed that the immigration shit wasn't happening. And so he was starting to lose in the polls. So it's a risky thing to do, but the right thing to do. Because what he's showing his voters is, listen, guys, with this government, I can't get it done. I know I promised it. I want to do it. I really do. But with this government, I can't do it. So you know what? I'll pull out of this government. We'll mix the cards again. And hopefully, he gets elected with a majority. Now, that hasn't happened since the 80s in Holland. Right? In the Netherlands, in the 80s, there was the last time that one party got a majority. They have many more parties than we do here in Germany. And it's very difficult. But he has proven to his voters and the rest of the country that he is willing to sacrifice in order to implement the policies that the country needs to fight off this growing Islamism and mass immigration into the country that no citizen in any of these countries wants, right? It's gone too far. And you need politicians with balls to take care of this problem. Geert Wilders has got balls. Friedrich Merz has got no balls. Not even one. He doesn't have a single ball. He has no ball. Zero. Right? That's it. Because he let the SPD fucking roll him during the negotiations for the coalition. Right? And nothing will get done on immigration during Friedrich Merz's chancellorship. Guaranteed. Now, I know they're trying. I know that Dobrindt is trying and everything. Everybody's talking, doing a lot of talking. You know what I mean? A lot of talk. But nothing's really happening that's making any difference. Right? Yeah, they're doing more border checks. Doesn't make a fucking difference because those people will come in over not borders. Right? And once they're in, they're in. That's the way it rolls. And unless you're willing to fight the EU over it, and unless you're willing to implement harsh policies, that shit is not going to change. And Friedrich Merz and the CDU and the Union and these fucking losers that are at the levers of power at the moment, they're never going to do that. Only people with balls and a backbone are going to do that. And Geert Wilders is one of those people. You know, German politicians can take a lesson from this, right? German politicians take a lesson from this. And trust me, Geert Wilders is in grave danger because of his stance on Islam. But I lived in Holland before I lived in Germany for 17 years. Before Geert Wilders, the last dude that was also a politician, his name was Pim Fortuyn, right? He was a gay politician, but he was anti-Islam and anti-mass immigration, and they killed him, right? He was killed. He was shot. I think he was shot. Yeah, in front of a fucking TV studio, getting ready to do an interview, right? They shot his ass. So, Geert Wilders has got numerous death threats for his movie Fitna, and he's still on everybody's shit list, and yet he still continues to march forward. He doesn't bow out and say, look, it's too much pressure, it's too much hate, like Kevin Kühnert, the Labo who made me the diffuses gefühl. You know, he just stayed in the ring like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these populists. You know, they try to tell you populism is a bad word, right? But populism is the parties that are popular, you know what I'm saying, that are saying the things to the people that the people find popular. That, what can we do? You know what I mean? So now we have to be unpopular because because the establishment politicians don't like it? So they're trying to make populism a bad word? That's fucking ridiculous. That's insane. That's insane. You know why people all over the Western world are moving right? You know why they're all moving to populist parties? Because the populist parties are the only parties in Germany. It's the AfD. They're the only ones saying anything, willing to try anything, willing to do anything in order to serve the interests of the people in Germany. In France, it's Marine Le Pen. and her party, right? That the same. The reason why the other parties are becoming unpopular is because they are ignoring the will of the people completely when it comes to immigration, especially, but also on every other topic, right? They're ignoring the will of the people on everything, right? And immigration is the most important one. And the people are sick and fucking tired of it in most countries. I don't know what's going on in Germany. You know what I mean? I would say that after this Friedrich Merz disaster, what we're getting ready to walk into here, I would say that even the dumbest of the dumbest motherfuckers out there would say, okay, I've got to vote for the AfD. They're the only party that is going to do anything about this problem. And Geert Wilders' party is the only party in Holland that is going to do anything about this problem as well. Right? And so the people understand that. And I think that while it must have been a risky move and felt risky for Geert Wilders to blow the government up, I bet it's going to pay out for him. You know what I'm saying? I really think it's going to pay out for him. Because the people have absolutely had it. Right? At this point, I don't care. The people are thinking, yo, if it's a right-wing party that's going to solve the problems, then it's a right-wing party. If it's a people are starting to go, look, even if the party is a Nazi party, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Now, everybody knows that the AfD is not a Nazi party, but even the people that have touted that all these years are saying now, look, fuck it, what can I do? I mean, you know what I mean? What can I do? These other people are not doing shit. They can't do shit. Their hands are always tied. There's nothing they can do. They're bound by this European insane bullshit. They don't want to offend everybody. They want to remain in power. There's all kinds of things that are holding these establishment figures back from doing the correct thing and what they were put there to do. The incentives to not do those things are too great. And only those that resist those incentives put themselves, their lives, their reputations, and put it on the line. They've got a horse in the race. You know what I'm saying? They've got a dog in the fight. Those are the only people that are going to do anything for any of this shit. We've given the establishment enough time, people. In Germany, it's time for AfD, and in Holland, it's time for a PVV majority. And this is a great sign. European Union's going to hate it. The EU bureaucrats are going to hate it. The left is going to hate it. You're going to see. As long as the mainstream media is crying about it, it's a good thing. You don't even have to know what the topic is. If the mainstream media these days, or the government propaganda media, in the case of Germany, if they think, or if they're upset, if they're on TV crying and whining about how shit ever something is, then you can assume that shit they're talking about is awesome. You can assume it's great. It's got to be good news. And so this news about Holland is a great step in the correct direction. And look, these establishment people, I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time before the establishment is cleaned off the political slate completely, right? Also in Germany. It might take even more pain than just these 4 years, but it is just a matter of time. The establishment has shown they are no matter who's at the power, no matter who's the chancellor, no matter who's in the foreign minister, no matter what, they have proven they cannot or will not solve any of the really pressing problems of the day for their countries. They won't do it, or they can't do it. And so it's just a matter of time. The AfD can just sit it out and wait it out, and they're going to be king. And I hope they will be. And I hope everybody out there is smart enough to vote for them this time and not get fucking mesmerized by the CDU snake once again and say, oh, look, they did this, and so maybe this next time, if we vote for them one more time, they're really going to deliver this time, guys. Yeah, that ship has fucking sailed. Friedrich Merz sailed it and set it on fire on the ocean. It's gone. All right? It's gone. You can't trust a fucking thing any of these people say anymore. That's reality, people. That's the way it is. All right, guys. Another positive day. Another positive day. A step in the right direction. Let's be happy. Let's take the win. Celebrate it a little bit before getting pissed off about the next bullshit we're going to hear on the news tomorrow. All right, people. Take it easy.